Hey guys, Jason here. Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing Ahsoka Episode 1, so let's get right into it. So first of all, I really liked the opening with the red text, the Star Wars crawl. It was a bit different, something we haven't really seen in the show. I liked it a lot. Then we cut to Balin and Shin. These are two new villains for the show. They're not Sith, they're Dark Jedi, which I think is really cool. They have orange sabers, kind of like what we saw in Jedi Survivor. So I guess 2023 is just a year of orange lightsabers. So I thought that was really cool. I like his design, Balin. He's just a really hulking beast of a man. He's just an old man of a lightsaber. So I think that's really cool. You know, he survived the Order and all that. He survived Order 66, and he has an apprentice named Shin. She looks sort of like Chloe Grace Moretz. I legit thought it was her for a sec, but it's not. Basically, they break out Morgan Elsbeth. She's the character from Mando season 2. And basically, she's been captured by the New Republic, and she's getting broken out. And I thought the way it was filmed and like the effects and the practical effects and CGI looked amazing. It makes Kenobi look like absolute garbage. It was just amazing. It was a really good opening. I really enjoyed that. And then we cut to Ahsoka, and this is where the CGI kind of looks a bit eh. The whole background and like the whole setting just looked a bit fake, but I didn't really mind it. We have Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka, which I'm not really a big fan of anymore. Like I liked her in Mando season 2. She was a bit annoying in Boba Fett. She was just like really overly wise and trying to be so mysterious and so serious, and it was just kind of a bit too edgy. But I feel like it's gotten even worse in the show. She feels nothing like Ahsoka from Rebels. I mean, I guess she does, but it's just dialed to 11, like really overacting. Not much like emotion, just a lot of smirking and crossed arms and staring. Not enough emotion. She kind of feels like Captain Marvel in her movie. I don't want to really like compare it to that, but a lot of female strong. We have to be serious type stuff in this show, and I'll get more into that later. But that's something I just really didn't like. I can say that for most of the characters. Most of the characters are very serious, and the villains especially. And then so basically she finds this map to like Thrawn or something, this tomb. She goes inside and she has a bit of a fight scene. It's a bit overdone with the explosion, but I really don't like the idea of a map to find Ezra. I feel like the idea of the show is really nice. It's a really like awesome idea, like really fucking cool. Like how could you mess this up? But I don't know how I feel about the map. We've had so many maps in Star Wars. So I guess I'm just going to let it slide. But overwriting the plot of the entire show, like finding Ezra and Thrawn after the biggest cliffhanger in a Star Wars show, I feel like that's an amazing idea to do. This is basically just going to be Rebels season 5, which I love that. Rebels is the best piece of Star Wars media ever, so I'm really glad about that. But then we get introduced to this new, well, not new character, but like this old character from Clone Wars, which I don't even remember. I don't even remember him being reintroduced. It's Hu Young, I think his name was. He's like he was the droid who helped build lightsabers in the Clone Wars. I don't really remember much of the Clone Wars. I'm not really a Clone Wars guy, but I do know his character. But yeah, it's just weird seeing him be reintroduced like out of nowhere. Like, oh, he's back now. He survived. So it's kind of weird, but I'll let it slide. Then we get introduced to Hera. She's a returning character from the Rebels show, which I love. I love Hera. I love all the characters from that show. So seeing like these cartoon characters come into live action is like really cool. But I got to be honest, Hera was really disappointing in this show so far. I feel like Mary Elizabeth Winston was a terrible choice to portray Hera. I feel like they should just gotten like the original actress, the voice actress who played her. Sounds nothing like her, looks nothing like her, and just yeah, her performance was just shit. Again, same reason I don't really like Ahsoka in the show so far is she's just so serious. There's no, there's none of that motherly, vibe I get from her. I can't see her, being being a mother of the crew. So I'm really disappointed about that, and like there's just no emotion. Hera and Ahsoka haven't seen each other since the Rebels, right? That was like before A New Hope. So this is like nearly 15 years later, and it's just, oh hey, yeah, it's been a while. I survived. Like, shouldn't you be like, oh my god, Ahsoka, you're back. Like you fucking survived. But no, it's just like it's too serious to have any emotion. It's just like so. so edgy. Like I'm really disappointed with how they reintroduced, Hera and Ahsoka together because they haven't seen each other for years. And I know like they might have, seen each other again off screen, but that's something I really despise in storytelling. It's just the off screen stuff. Like, how did Luke and Ahsoka meet? Oh, off screen. Like, what did they talk about? Oh, just some really important stuff off screen. About Anakin being his father and all that. So I'm not a fan of that. But Ahsoka tells Hera, there's a way to find Ezra, and not much emotion shown. She's like, Ezra, he's alive. Okay, cool, whatever. And then we get this really weird line what the Hera says, saying, who could help you with this, and everyone's thinking, Luke Skywalker, obviously, the most powerful Jedi in the world right now in the fucking entire galaxy. Surely he can help you, prevent another fucking galactic war. But no, we get Sabine instead, which it makes sense. Sabine's a very arty person. She could definitely solve the puzzle. But still, if we don't get a cameo from Luke, that's going to be such a bad choice, in my opinion. So yeah, we get introduced to Sabine again. We get introduced to a Lothal, live action Lothal. It's a planet. And we see Clancy Brown playing his character from Rebels, which I was really happy about. And we also get another character from Rebels in live action. Doesn't really look like him, but I guess it was just he's a side character, so it doesn't really matter. But Lothal looks amazing in live action. Sabine looks amazing. The actress is Australian, so her accent can kind of slip out sometimes. It doesn't really sound like Sabine, but it's fine, I guess. But the fact that like Sabine isn't in her armor the entire episode is just kind of weird, and she just like seems really out of character. This feels like season one Sabine instead of season four Sabine. It feels like she's kind of reset, her character arc. She's very rebellious now, and she doesn't really listen to what people say. I guess that's what like who she is. She doesn't really listen to what people say, but still like this is something very important, and she's kind of slows down the entire episode. So that was just annoying. Um, Overall, she looks good. Uh, every character looks good so far. So then we cut to the four main villains so far. We have Morgan, Balin, Shin, and this new character, this new Inquisitor called Merrick, which is obviously a reference to Galen Merrick, Starkiller. I really hope it's him. It's probably not though. He just seems like a new Inquisitor, or it could be the eighth brother from season 2 of Rebels who survived. I don't know. We don't get that much about him. Basically, they say that Sabine is a former apprentice to Ahsoka, which this is where I was really pissed off because when the fuck in Star Wars Rebels did they ever even interact once? They might have said like two lines of dialogue to each other. Never have we ever seen them like train together. Like it's never even been established. There was no like the show expect us to just think, oh yeah, I remember Sabine, the former apprentice of Ahsoka. Like no, that didn't even happen. There's like so much off-screen, drama that we never even saw. There's so much tension between these two characters. Like, you were never easy on me. Like, what? Where did this even come from? He just like Dave Filoni can just be really lazy with his writing sometimes. We're just like, yeah, this happened off screen, so just like keep up. Like, no, that's such a lazy storytelling. Maybe show us this. You should have showed us this, when you're fucking making Rebels. You obviously didn't plan this through. So like the fact that Sabine was the apprentice to Ahsoka just comes out of nowhere and we just expect to say, yep, I remember that, even though that didn't even happen. They didn't even talk once in that entire fucking show. It just seems so weird. So I guess like off screen, in between the 10 years after Return of the Jedi, when Ahsoka was doing like jack shit, she trained Sabine for a while and then they went their separate ways, which also begs the question, where the fuck was Ahsoka during the original trilogy? I was expecting them to answer that question like straight away, like, yep, this is where I was in the world between worlds, but not. Ahsoka was just being lazy, didn't even try looking for Ezra, just hanging out with Luke, and then now she finally decides to go looking for him 10 years later. Well, 15 years after he said, come find me. That's such like, oh, it's pretty annoying. But I guess I'm just going to have to deal with it. It's still really lazy storytelling. And then Sabine stupidly steals the map from Ahsoka and she tries to figure it out. Then obviously it goes wrong and the droids come and find her, steal the map, destroy her fucking room. Then we get a cool lightsaber duel. This is something I really liked. We have Sabine use Ezra's lightsaber, which she has modified, which I wasn't expecting that. Um, she has a duel with Shin, the female apprentice to Balin. It was a really, I think the choreography. I think the fight itself was really well done, but the way they filmed it was like really close up. I feel like that's just because of Dave Filoni. He's used to making fights on the computer, so in real life he's like filming a lot more closer than he usually would, which I get that, but it was kind of annoying. I also do want to bring up Shin's lightsaber. It looks a lot like Kanan Jarrus's lightsaber, but they never even confirmed that. I thought when Hu Yang was going to scan the saber, he would have said, this is Kanan's lightsaber, but I guess it's just an entirely new one. It just looks extremely similar to Kanan's. So I guess that theory's debunked. But anyway, the most stupid part of the episode comes where Sabine gets stabbed in the stomach by Shin, and she's left there, and in the next episode, she somehow survives. So yeah, I guess Qui-Gon Jinn's just rolling in his grave like the third time. River survived twice, one as a child, once as an adult, and then the Inquisitor got stabbed and survived. So I guess characters can just survive getting stabbed by lightsabers now, even though that's complete bullshit. I guess the excuse here is, she had immediate medical help. Qui-Gon, he died, he got stabbed and then was left on the floor for like 2 minutes, and then I guess he wasn't using the dark side to save himself, so he just became one of the Force and died. But still, the Kenobi stabbings that's bullshit. Kenobi isn't even canon to me anymore. That show was garbage, but still, little disappointed to see, the lightsaber stabs, like the survivable stabs that in this show. I feel like that's really lazy. Could have done something else, maybe like force push or something, and then leave. But yeah, that was episode one. I gotta say, a little underwhelming. Wasn't the biggest fan, but still. Uh, I'm gonna review episode two later, but I hope you enjoyed my video talking about Ahsoka. I just wanted to give my thoughts on episode one. So I'll see you guys next time.